Hello, hello. How is everyone doing? This is Tyra Omilade, your goddess guru, your sister friend. And y'all know I like helping women align with their life purpose, living in alignment with their life purpose using the goddess centered lifestyle and ancient wisdom. It's all about blending the two, blending the two. How are you all doing? Just popping on today, real quick, just to kind of talk about a few things. I didn't actually finish part of the reading that I did the other day, so I wanted to come on and do that. And I want to look at Will Smith's chart along with Chris Rock and I don't know if I'll look at Jada's chart, probably not. But Will Smith is the one I'm most interested in since he's the one who, you know, went a little bit off the rails the other day. And I just want to I want to weigh in on that. Hello to all of the hashtag replay sisters. Always so happy to have y'all on board. And you know what? I may have forgotten to make this public. So let me just double check. And it is not public. Guess what? It's about to be public. Yes, I schedule these, and I have a lady who I call the super VA, April, the super VA. She's like created these in advance, and I forgot to make it live. So yeah, welcome to everybody. So very happy to be here, and I wonder if I can add in. Can I add in Facebook? Will it let me? Let me see if I can get Facebook on board. Okay, someone's here. Let me see if it's Eileen. Oh, it's Peg. Hey, Peg. How you doing, Peg? Okay, there's Eileen. Hey, Eileen. How y'all doing, sisters? So glad y'all are here. So yeah, I'll probably just look at Will's chart. That way we'll just keep it nice and simple. But I do want to just let you all know. Let's see here. Yeah. I want to just let everyone know that I am having a new moon circle and workshop, and it is tomorrow. Yes. Okay. Cool. 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 I'll give you my take on it. We can look at his chart, at Will's chart, and see if anything is there, and I'm gonna give y'all my perspective on it. Um. So yeah, I'm having a new moon circle and workshop. And so part of the goddess centered lifestyle is, the circle is something that we acknowledge as a divine feminine symbol, especially when we put that circle together and create spirals. And a lot of times when we talk about getting together, yes, Peg, already signed up. Love it. Um, when we get together and we call it a sister circle, right? So that's largely what I do and what I want to begin to do is to open it up. I used to just do this within my inner circle. And now that I no longer have an inner circle, I still want to do this new moon workshop because I understand the importance of cycles. It is so important to live according to the cycles. It makes life so much easier. And it helps for you to not have to figure it all out. And so I have a lot figured out for you already and bringing us together as the women. It's very inspiring because everything doesn't come from me when we're in circle. It's the group. I have my part that I do play. I have the wisdom that I bring because I know folks want to know what's going on with this moon, right? I can bring that for you, but it's something about women getting together and, setting our intentions individually, collectively, that just makes life a little bit easier to deal with. And you just feel like you're so much more empowered. So, yes, Eileen will be listening to from work for the workshop. Okay, so let me move on to Will Smith. Hmm. I think what I'm gonna go on ahead and do real quick is just show y'all what's in this chart and see, do we see something that's going on with Will Smith that we're like, we can kind of see what's happening. Okay, so one thing I see right away that makes me wonder what's going on. See, people do not understand the importance, the power, and the impact of the eclipses. Okay. When you have the eclipses happen in your first, fourth, seventh, or 10th house, that your life is going to change. It's just something that you got to accept. Your life gonna change. Okay. And so last year we had the eclipses and part of this, yeah, last year and part of the year before, we had the eclipses in his rising sign of Gemini, rising sign of Gemini, and his seventh house of Sagittarius. So, that's a really big deal. Gemini is about writing, and we see he came out with a book at the top. Was it at the top of this year? Or maybe it was at the end of last year. Some recently he came out with a book. And yeah, it's really interesting that that book was the beginning of a new Will Smith. I kept up with his launch. His launch involved this video series. And initially I was like, what is Will Smith up to? Because he always up to something. And finally I realized this video series he was coming out with on YouTube was pretty much his book launch. And showing him like going from being overweight to losing the weight and how hard it was, and seeing a little bit more into Will Smith's life. I personally felt it was very authentic. I did not get the book. I was like, I gave him all my time in his launch, so I'll have to check that book out later. um, and so when you have the eclipses in that first house, like it's time something's gonna change. And it was the part of the eclipse that was in Gemini is the part that is about him and his identity and his life overall. And that was like the new direction. So his life is headed in a new direction. And then the part of the eclipse that was in his house of relationships in this book was so much about relationships. I'm going to tell y'all a theory that I have. Libras actually sort of struggle with relationships. Maybe not all. That was a generalization. But I find a lot of times Libras actually, they're going to be in the mix quite a bit, but they have a lot to learn about relationships, which might be why they're born under relationships. And Will Smith, he admits he is not good at relationships. And here he is, like a master Libra. He's got 3 planets in Libra and his South Node. The South Node often indicates some lesson that you learned in a previous lifetime. Like it's kind of like your comfort zone. So it's interesting that um he will say like, I am not good at relationships. And so much of that book launch, I don't know about the book, is about how much relationships have impacted the way he's showing up in the world. And it was like this purging energy, and that's largely what he did with that book, is he just got it out. So I find that to be really, really interesting. Now, anybody who has, if you the Gemini and Sag are called um, mutable signs. So 4 signs are going to always be impacted for the most part at a time in astrology when they have the same what is called modality. And so mutable is a modality. It's like how this sign operates. All 4 of these signs operate in a mutable way. So it's what I'll say is, just to make it real simple, is these signs are really good at making something better. Okay. So if something is happening in Gemini and Sag, the other 2 mutable signs are Virgo and Pisces. So if eclipses are happening in Gemini and Sag, you best bet anyone who has energy in Virgo and Pisces, they're going to be feeling those eclipses. But the other thing too is, it's a lot of energy down here in his 4th house of Virgo, like, you can see this storyline about his dad really, my goodness, you can see where he had problems, like, the 4th house has to do with your home, like, your family, where you were raised up. It could represent your family now too, but, like, Mars and Pluto and Uranus, I mean, like, he was born to have that dad that he had. I can't remember his name, but his dad, like, very, very pivotal, powerful person in his life, but a huge part of his wounding came from his dad. And so you could see him really working on this 4th house stuff. Like, so much of what he's been working on is something related to this, home, family, his foundation, his roots, all that kind of stuff. So, having all these planets in Virgo, he was greatly impacted by the eclipses even more. And now the eclipses are up here in his 6th and 12th houses. And that 12th house has something to do with the subconscious mind. So it's no telling what's ticking underneath that. All of the Geminis feel like they're a little bit off center still. Is something I've noticed is when you have the eclipses in your 1st and 7th house, once they move on to your 6th and 12th house or your 12th and 6th houses, because that's the direction they move in, um, it's like now you gotta like something's been unearthed and now you gotta keep working to get it all integrated and settled in or something like that. A lot of people struggle for about 3 years actually from what I've watched. And it's just you gotta reintegrate it, resettle it, and then you'll be started off, you'll be ready to run and achieve some stuff after that. Um, but the other piece that is really pivotal for Will Smith is he has 2 planets in Scorpio. And so the part of the eclipse that's about purging and releasing, that's in Scorpio on his moon. This little thing right here it's been close to his Neptune, which is spiritual, and actually Neptune maybe sort of could have something to do with career. I would say it's largely about something that's in his subconscious mind. And then this moon, um, which is a major planet in Scorpio. Scorpio moon ain't no joke. Scorpio moon is it's a really tough moon. It's a moon that's like I take no mess off of anybody because I can see your BS. And Scorpio is a little bit vindictive, right? So I don't think people get how hard it is. If you don't understand what's going on with these eclipses in your life, it'll just look like your life is just being tossed up in the air and tossed to and fro. And I mean, it's rough. I'm going through this transit. I'm a Scorpio rising and I have a lot of planets in Taurus. And I just feel like life is different for me right now. It's not easy. And I've seen it. I watched the last few eclipses, friends who had this 1st and 7th going on with these eclipses. It ain't easy, or if it's on your moon. And so the eclipses are right there on his moon. And with the eclipses, it's a fated event. It's fated. So there's a part of me that I was talking to somebody the other day about this that feels like this was something that was put into place. It's something fated. I don't know if all 3 of their souls conspired with this and everybody who's witnessed it or whatever, but it's something fated. It could be that it's kicking something off for Will Smith. So, you know, Scorpio is about, baby, we might need to go get some therapy and some healing. Okay. And these eclipses, what they're doing for that moon right now, it's like we getting ready to purge it. What is the moon? It's emotions. It's like the foundation, the essence of who and what you are. It's highly emotional. And it's in Scorpio. See, Scorpio is like this, baby. You're gonna get attacked by me when you least expect it. Just know, once I'm fed up, Scorpio is gonna snap. I kind of feel that way about Libras too. I have an aunt who's a Libra. She was chill, and then all of a sudden, she would just get pushed to her limit. And when she snapped, everybody was like, Why y'all make Aunt Beanie act like this? This is ridiculous. She the nicest one up in here, and she didn't snap because y'all didn't know how to act. um, so I don't know if it's that. Libras are pretty peaceful people, but I think if you push a Libra a little bit too far, they're gonna snap. And so that moon, you know, I feel my heart actually kind of goes out to him when I see that moon. It's in the house of problems too. His moon is in the sixth house of problems. But the eclipses come to get you right for the next phase of life. So all I can say is, Will, it's just your turn. It's my turn. I'm not judging him because I'm man, my moon is being transited by all of this. I'm gonna be in this eclipse moon. Oh my God. Okay. Let me see if I see anything else on this chart that this is just his natal chart. Let's see here. We got all this going up here in Aquarius. Okay, let's see what we got going on in Aquarius. So in Aquarius, it's his MC. The MC is the career point. Has been really activated here lately, which might speak to some of his achievement that he's been having. There's just a part of me that's like, I wonder if Will Smith is going to start shifting and doing something new because he said in this book launch, he we don't really know the real Will Smith. But let's look at his progress chart. Now, what is the progress chart? The progress chart is a chart. What time is it? I might have to get off shortly. I have somebody looking at something for my business. Um, ooh, okay. The progress chart is what I call the evolutionary chart. So when you're born, the moment that you're born, there's a snapshot that is taken of your soul, and that chart that is a snapshot of your soul. And but that wheel keeps turning, and so as that wheel turns, it's speaking to evolutionary things that will be happening to you, changes that will be happening to you. And even that ascendant sign, it's going to change, right? And you change, you grow, you evolve over time. Hey, Kendra. Oh, thank you. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Monica. Oh my God, Monica's here. Yes, the purge is real. The purge is real. Okay, Monica's here. Glad you're here. Cindy. I just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Kendra is on Facebook, y'all. Ah, welcome back to this side of the dream world. He just admitted to therapy. It was on the news this morning. Okay. Yes. And Scorpio energy is very, very intense. Yes, they snap if pushed. Exactly, Eileen. Exactly. Okay. So in his progress chart, a lot of times if I want to see, is somebody getting ready to have something new happen? They're moving into a new phase. I will look at the progress chart. And so one thing that I noticed right away, typically with the progress chart, I'm mostly looking at the moon and the sun to see, and maybe this ascendant sign to see what's changing, what's getting ready to move from this house into this house, this area into this area. And his moon has only been in Scorpio for about 1, maybe 2 months. So he just had his moon move from Libra, his progressed moon, excuse me, move from Libra into what? Into Scorpio, honey. Oh my goddess. Oh my goddess. So whenever that progressed moon moves from one house to the next, from one sign into the next, something is going to change. There's going to be a birthing of something new. Something new is going to happen, and it could have something to do with home, family, emotions, and how you show up in the world. I remember when my moon was in Aquarius, I was like, this is what it feels like to be in Aquarius. I'm like, wow, I feel so good and so happy. And then that moon moved into Pisces. I was like, dang, I am born under the sign of Pisces. And this is too much. When my progressed moon was in Pisces, I was counting down. The moon moves one sign each month, 1 degree, I should say, not one sign, 1 degree each month. And so it takes about 2.5 years to get through your progressed moon to move from one sign into the next. Oh, I was counting down the days when my moon moved from Pisces to Aries. Now that was hard, but I was so happy to get my moon in a new place. Poe will. His moon moved from like even kill Libra, who's gonna have like some what's the word I want to use? Libras are so gracious and they're respectable, to his moon in Scorpio. His moon in Scorpio is like I said, one moment Scorpio is fine, but when Scorpio is ticked, Scorpio finna cut somebody. It's about to pinch somebody. So it's in the fifth house. So I know maybe therapy is gonna become, or he's gonna start doing more therapeutic things. Um, because he enjoys it, it'll help him be more creative or something, or maybe we'll see him. He need to get healing first before he come trying to heal somebody else. But that's a lot of energy in Scorpio. But maybe there's going to be an emphasis on his children too. And the fifth house is about being who you are. Let me tell you, Scorpionic people, they can't stand lying. They don't want to be fake, can't take it. It makes them crazy. So who knows what else we about to see with him. Okay, Kendra says, my Scorpio moon, man, it's been intense the past 2 weeks itself. Yeah, we Scorpios need a little bit of extra grace right now. Because we I think Scorpios learn how to like manage their intensity, but when you have the eclipses going on, it doesn't matter what your sign is, you can't really manage it anymore because the universe is forcing you to change. And so, yeah, Scorpio, we about to be off the chain, Scorpios and Tauruses. But for real, Scorpio, because they don't let anybody see anything. But I think Scorpios are going to be bearing it all. They have been waiting for these eclipses for the last 9 to 18 years. They letting it all loose, especially since they don't really know. Um, so yeah, that's one thing that I found to be interesting about his chart. And the last, let me summarize it, and then I do have to run and go to a meeting really quickly, and then I'm gonna come back and do the extra reading now that I think about it. So let me tell y'all my thoughts on Will Smith and Jada and um, Chris and all of it actually. So I decided to do mostly listening during this time to see what people were saying. And I said, wow, it's interesting how NLP will change the way you see the world and things that happen in the world. um, because my position is whatever your position is correct. Whatever so and so down the streets, or on Facebook or YouTube, whatever their position is, it is correct because and when we began to understand our inner workings and our inner landscape, we know that we see the world based on maybe how we're feeling, past experiences, our values, our current identity. There's a lot that will make you decide what this means regarding Will Smith. And that's why we're seeing all this conversation going on. People are tossing things out about, well, you know, it means this, or maybe that, or, it means this. You have some women who are saying something about what it means for Jada versus this group of women over here saying what it means for Jada. And all of it is correct because it's based on each person's filter. So whatever we all say it is just no. And this is how I was like, well, I'm free from having conversations about this because I did chat with my husband a little bit just to be transparent. But for the most part, I've not really needed to talk too much about this because immediately I was like, no, everyone's just giving their opinion based on their personal, like where they are in life right now. Because we can look at this down the road and maybe have some different experiences a different identity, different place in life. Maybe you get to know Will and Jada and Chris, and that changes how you see it, right? So none of it is wrong and none of it is right. It's just all opinions that are based on people's what 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 filters they are wearing. And so I decided to come down to it this way. I said, you know what? I learned from one of my Ho'oponopono teachers. If you have witnessed this thing, it's because you helped to contribute to it. You helped to create it. And so the best thing you can do is Ho'oponopono it. And I will say it this way in case you don't use Ho'oponopono. If you witnessed it, if it has come into your sphere, then ask yourself, how did I contribute to Will Smith slapping Chris Rock in defense of Jada? And you hear a lot about Jada having alopecia. What do I have to do with this? And how can I contribute to resolving it? And with that, I just said, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Because at the end of the day, I thought, I actually don't really know what's going on. I have no idea what their soul contract is. And, for me, it was violent looking, and that's not okay for me. So I was like, well, let me see where's the violence in me. All right. Where's the violence in me? How can I bring more peace and love? Who do I need to speak more peacefully about? Speak more peacefully to? One of my coachees has brought up recently that said to her initially, um, we all are at 100% cause in our own lives. And that's how I see this. This is, again, something I learned from my Ho'oponopono teacher. And that is, I'm at 100% cause for what I experience in my life. And if I witness something or if somebody comes to me with something, then I need to ask myself, what do I have to do with this? How did I contribute to this? And how can I bring more peace, love, and harmony to it? How can I bring more healing to it? And that answer might be different for everyone. Right away, especially with someone like this, I'm going to Ho'oponopono it. And the other part was I decided, you know what? I'm just not going to. I can see why everyone is saying what they're saying. Like, there were very few people who were saying things that were like just wrong, right? Most people had some reason for why they were giving the argument that they were giving or giving the opinion that they were giving. And I was like, you know what? It's just a bunch of opinions based on people's experiences. And one of the best things I can do is just be like, okay, maybe I say nothing about what I saw. Maybe I say, "Oh, I see where you're coming from," Just make sure that I am whatever I'm doing, it's lending itself as best I can make it happen to healing. So, hey, Sun Eyes, how you doing, Micheline? Hey, Ashley. Oh my gosh, how are y'all doing? Hello, Ashley. Oh my gosh, so good to see everybody. Okay, so I have this business coach who's going to look at one of my sales pages. If any of y'all ever want to go into business, let me know. But yeah, it's always good to have somebody who knows more about, business and stuff to look at your business stuff. So I'm going to be back shortly. Hey, Diza. Oh my gosh. I'm about to get off, y'all. I will be back shortly because yesterday, and I did a video yesterday with the weekly wisdom, and I did not it was going way too long, and so I was like, "I'm gonna let that go." And I thought I was coming back on this morning, and I got my hair did, got my little haircut with Greg the barber, who said I'm not gonna even talk about what he said. Anywho, it was really fascinating. I'm gonna tell y'all what he said because I did not hear anyone really drive this one home. He said, first of all, he didn't even witness it. He went to bed. I was like, "You lucky." That's what I get for being on social media. But he was like, I woke up and I saw it. And he said, I just thought it was, acting or whatever. And I'm like I said, bunch of opinions about it. But I want to go over this reading with y'all from this deck. This deck is amazing. But I'm going to run. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Nothing to do with Chris Rock, but he definitely caught the short end of the stick. He was the objects of Will's learning lesson. Yes. Yes. Yes, Peg. Yes. Okay, thank y'all so much. Be looking for my next live stream. It'll be in about an hour, okay? Talk to y'all later. And also, please join me in my new moon workshop. I would love to have y'all. Y'all will love, love, love to be a part of that workshop. All right. Take care and see y'all shortly. Peace and love.